Good evening, friends, my seniors, my subordinates, my colleagues, and my students, and all those people who are actually serving the human race through their humanitarian efforts amid this disastrous pandemic of COVID-19. I salute all those souls who are actually just taking the risk of putting their life at stake while serving the patients who are suffering from COVID. But one thing we must discuss, and it's needed to be discussed, is that this COVID pandemic is actually giving rise to yet another pandemic or yet another epidemic. In this regard, I must strive to make you understand what that particular epidemic can look like. Yes, it will not look like the COVID-19, but it will be a more disastrous one. Because already the entire global population is in some way or other affected by some sort of mental pressures like anxieties and worries regarding their financial conditions, regarding their social conditions, etc. Now, this COVID-19 is actually, in both the direct and indirect way, affecting the mental health of millions of people across the globe. So, why I'm saying this is due to the fact that I'm eager to make aware that my audiences should focus on one thing on a deliberate manner, and that particular one thing is thinking about positively, of not getting anxious about getting caught with disease. This disease is now airborne, we all know that, but again, the scientists, the scholars, the medical practitioners, all of them are doing the best to develop the vaccine, and now is the particular time, now is the perfect time for us to just focus on our mental health. I will just enumerate some points in a brief manner so that my video doesn't get so much elongated, and in this regard I want to make you understand some specific things, some specific aspects of our mental health. First of all, worldwide there is now a scenario that has been observed by myriads of psychologists and psychiatrists. I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a psychiatrist, I'm just a certified counselor, and my academic career is different from this. But owing to my personal research work, I have come to know about some valuable things that can be significant for you people also. For instance, the first point which I must emphasize is that don't get so much worried about being the victim of COVID. When you are worried, you are actually inviting anxiety, and anxiety may lead to anxiety disorders, and they may ultimately culminate into depressive disorders. Now, when there is depression, when there is anxiety, when there is a mental pressure on yourself, then there are chances that your immunity is going down. The resistance that is provided by your body is gradually diminishing, and this is not a physical factor, this is actually a psychological factor. There are certain cases I have heard, I have looked and observed that many people are losing their job, and that's making them financially very much in crisis. These people are again falling prey to depression, falling prey to anxiety. And if this continues, then such small disorders can result in many other forms of disorders. Just like you may take bipolar disorder, or it can be the first symptom or the first stage of schizophrenia. All these things may happen. So why I am just recording this, my ultimate purpose and my ultimate objective is to make you aware that yes, you put on your mask, you sanitize your hand, you do all those things that are necessary to avoid and refrain from COVID. But at the same time, you must also strive to make yourself mentally stable and psychologically sound. I would like to address the family members of those individuals who are already under the stress of depression or under the fit of anxiety, to just render their helping hand to those people and make them understand that there is no such fear. You know, this kind of fear also took place when we first faced the outbreak of HIV AIDS. We all know that. Since the 1980s, it was just like a monster devouring the entire peace and prosperity of the whole humankind. But it was just surpassed and we were able to overcome it. This time also, we are going to fight back against COVID. We are going to resist COVID and we are going to defeat COVID. But for doing so, what you need is strengthening your mental health. I'm again repeating that mental health is intricately and integrally related to your body's immunity system. So don't allow yourself to get succumb to the fear of getting COVID. No, please don't do so. You're fit, you're fine, and you must sustain your immunity, for which you must worry less and focus more on how to deploy or employ your time in certain jobs that can earn you money. Think positive, wake up in the morning, just follow the rules and regulations governments are advertising all over the world regarding prevention of COVID, and that's it. That's your duty as a humankind. Now you cannot battle single-handedly against any menace, against any natural disaster, or against any pandemic. So what as an individual you can do is to just keep yourself strong enough to fight the disease. But before fighting the disease, you have to fight the fear of the disease. This fear, if surmounted, then it can lead to depressive disorders, as I've already said. It can lead to anxiety disorder and several other disorders which are thoroughly psychological. And whenever again you are getting caught by this sort of psychological disorders, automatically and by default your immunity system is going down, giving the COVID virus the chance to attack you and to infest itself within your body. So my friends, the first and the last thing we want to just experience is comorbid existence of two pandemics at once, one of COVID, another of mental disorder. So please, it's my plea to all the people who are listening to me, who are just watching this video, to first be aware of the do's and don'ts of COVID-19. But prior to that, you should always boost up yourself that you are a healthy people, you are a healthy man or woman, you are healthy enough to fight any disease, and this will actually prevent the progress of any kind of mental disorder within you. So stay fit, stay mentally fit at first. I'm again stressing on this fact. Stay mentally fit and psychologically fit so that this fear of COVID-19 cannot get the better of you. So my friend, my seniors, my colleagues, my subordinates, my students, I would like to request you all to stand against COVID with your full mental strength. Don't allow this pandemic to enter your brain. We will be victorious in the war against COVID. But to be so, we must first conquer our fears and we must first stabilize our mental condition. Be positive, think positive, and I'm sure your boosting immunity will keep away this COVID menace. That's all I have to say. So, goodbye. Take care. Take care of your family members and think positive and stay mentally fit. That's the first and foremost step that we can actually embrace in order to fight the pandemic of COVID. Goodbye. Take care.